Welcome to History with Herodotus, where the past comes alive through the power of storytelling and historical inquiry. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey to explore one of the most pivotal moments in human history, the conversion of Constantine. This transformative event, which took place in the early 4th century, would forever alter the trajectory of Western civilization, leaving an indelible mark on the course of human events. In the late 3rd century, the Roman Empire was beset on all sides by turmoil and upheaval. The once mighty legions, which had marched triumphantly across the known world, now struggled to maintain order in a realm torn asunder by internal strife and external pressures. It was an era of great uncertainty, when the very foundations of Roman power seemed to be crumbling beneath the weight of corruption, mismanagement, and the relentless onslaught of barbarian hordes. Against this backdrop of turmoil, a young and ambitious Roman general named Constantine emerged onto the scene. Born in the city of Naissus in the province of Moesia around 272 AD, Constantine was the son of Flavius Constantius, a skilled military commander who had risen through the ranks to become one of the most trusted advisors to the Emperor Carus. As a member of the imperial family, Constantine received an excellent education, studying the classical works of Greek and Roman authors, as well as the art of warfare and statesmanship. As we follow Constantine's journey, we find him serving under the tutelage of his father, learning the intricacies of military strategy and politics. The young general quickly proved himself to be a skilled and fearless warrior, earning the respect and admiration of his comrades in arms. However, it was not until the death of his father in 306 AD that Constantine's true ascent to power began. With the backing of his loyal troops, Constantine proclaimed himself Augustus, or Emperor, marking the beginning of a long and bloody struggle for dominance within the Roman Empire. As Constantine navigated the treacherous landscape of imperial politics, he found himself pitted against a formidable array of rivals, each vying for control of the empire. Among these was Maxentius, the son of the former Emperor Maximian, who had seized power in Rome and now threatened to undermine Constantine's authority. It is within this context of imperial intrigue and military conflict that we find the seeds of Constantine's conversion being sown. As he prepared to face his greatest challenge yet, the Battle of Milvian Bridge, which would decide the course of Roman history, Constantine began to experience a series of strange and vivid dreams, omens, and visions. These mystical experiences, which some have attributed to the influence of Christianity, would ultimately shape the trajectory of Constantine's life and alter the destiny of Western civilization. As the day of the Battle of Milvian Bridge approached, Constantine's visions and dreams intensified, culminating in a dramatic event that would change the course of his life forever. On October 28, 31 AD, as he prepared to face Maxentius and his army, Constantine reported seeing a cross of light in the sky with the inscription, "In hoc signo vinces, in this sign you will conquer." This vision, which some have interpreted as a divine sign from the Christian God, filled Constantine with a sense of conviction and purpose, and he ordered his soldiers to paint the cross on their shields as a symbol of their newfound faith. The Battle of Milvian Bridge was a resounding victory for Constantine, as Maxentius's army was defeated and the rival emperor drowned in the Tiber River. As Constantine entered Rome, he was greeted as a hero and a champion of the Christian faith, and his conversion began to take on a more public and profound significance. The Edict of Milan, issued in 33rd AD, marked a major turning point in the history of Christianity, as it granted tolerance and freedom of worship to all Christians within the Roman Empire. As Constantine's power and influence grew, so too did his commitment to Christianity. He began to surround himself with Christian advisors and bishops, and his court became a hub of theological debate and discussion. The Council of Nicaea, convened in 325 AD, was a landmark event in the development of Christian doctrine, as it brought together bishops from across the empire to establish a unified and orthodox understanding of the faith. Constantine's role in this process was instrumental, as he provided patronage and support for the council, and his presence helped to shape the course of the debates. One of the most fascinating aspects of Constantine's conversion is the way in which it reflected his broader vision for the Roman Empire. As he saw it, the empire was not just a political entity, but a sacred community bound together by a shared faith and a common purpose. This vision is beautifully captured in the words of the Christian historian Eusebius, who wrote that Constantine regarded himself as a servant of the divine providence and labored to promote the welfare of the whole human race. As Constantine's reign progressed, this vision would continue to shape his policies and decisions, from his rebuilding of Constantinople as a new Christian capital to his efforts to promote unity and orthodoxy throughout the empire. As Constantine's reign progressed, his commitment to Christianity only deepened, and he continued to play a pivotal role in shaping the faith's development. The Council of Nicaea, which he had convened earlier, had established a unified doctrine, but subsequent councils, such as the Council of Constantinople in 381 AD, further refined and solidified Christian theology. Constantine's own understanding of Christianity evolved over time, and he became increasingly involved in theological debates, often seeking to promote unity and orthodoxy throughout the empire. One of the most significant later events in Constantine's life was his dedication of Constantinople as the new capital of the Roman Empire in 3030 AD. This magnificent city, situated on the Bosphorus Strait, was designed to be a Christian capital with numerous churches and basilicas, including the iconic Hagia Sophia. As Eusebius noted, Constantine adorned the city with many beautiful buildings, and especially with churches, which he erected in great numbers and endowed with rich gifts. Constantinople would go on to become a beacon of Christianity, a center of learning and culture that would shape the course of Western civilization for centuries to come. The conversion of Constantine ultimately concluded with his death on May 22, 337 AD, as he prepared to launch a campaign against the Persians. According to tradition, Constantine was baptized on his deathbed, symbolizing his final commitment to the faith he had embraced decades earlier. His legacy, however, lived on, and his conversion continued to shape the course of history. As the Christian historian Theodoret wrote, the Roman Empire, which had been divided against itself, was united under one ruler, and the Church, which had been persecuted, was liberated. Today, the conversion of Constantine is remembered as a pivotal moment in the history of Christianity, marking the transition from a persecuted minority to a dominant world religion. It is celebrated by Christians around the world, who see it as a testament to the power of faith and the role of divine providence in shaping human events. As historian Christopher Dawson noted, the conversion of Constantine was not only a personal event, but a turning point in the history of the world, which marked the beginning of a new era in the relations between church and state. The conversion of Constantine's lasting impact can be seen in the countless churches, basilicas, and cathedrals that dot the landscape of Europe and beyond, testifying to the enduring legacy of Christianity. It can also be seen in the art, literature, and culture that have been shaped by Christian themes and motifs over the centuries. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And, until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.